Hey, look at me! I'm a penguin. Oh, I'm an Italian mobster. Oh, I'm a penguino. Have you ever played the Mario and Luigi games? How like whenever Mario and Luigi talk, they just do Italian noises. They're like and they do like exaggerated Italian gestures like anyways, Penguin episode 5. It's pretty good. Not as good as last week's episode, although last week's episode pretty high bar, not gonna lie. Kristen Milioti probably gonna get an Emmy for that episode alone. But no, this one just kind of moves the plot forward a bit and gives us some more insight into the characters and whatnot. So let's get into it. So they kidnapped the Moroni's son because, of course, not at the end of the last episode, but the end of 2 episodes ago. Before we had the Sophia Falcone focused episode. The Moroni family, they sniffed out what Oz was doing, and they were like, "Hey, you trying to backstab us with Sophia? We're gonna snuff you out." And then, of course, Vic comes in and he saves them. But in any case, now Oz, he's got to make some moves. He's got to take out the Moronis. And yeah, so they kidnap the Moroni son because he's like a moron that in the middle of a gang war is just posting on TikTok, showing his location. And I thought one pretty interesting part about this was that Vic actually like properly gets his hands dirty. He grabs the guy and he throws him on the ground, and he actually throws a punch at him on the ground, which I don't think Vic has not done that anything like that so far in the show. He's like, this is the first time that he's gotten physical with somebody, which I think is interesting. He's getting more into the criminal life. It's not exactly a pleasant thing to see, you know. I think we all wish that Vic would have gone on that bus with his girlfriend, but no, he chose a life of destruction. But of course, I suppose he is an adult. um, Another pretty cool thing about this episode is that we get a cutscene from Police Chief Brock or something, right? Brock, I think is his name. Sophia Falcone, I see you, Sophia. We're gonna take down your whole family. Well, sorry, we're gonna take you down because you took down your family. Uh, the way that this guy talks is fucking crazy. Um, and yeah, they basically have like an exchange with each other where Sophia's like, you think you can talk to me like that? I know what you do. I know how you're corrupt. I know all about it. So you think you can talk to me? I'm gonna talk back to you. And I really like their little interaction there. Um, and then we move on to Luca, fucking tied up after the end of the last episode in the grave. I thought there was like a really a really cool moment where Sophia was like, I can kill you now, or you can die with the rest of the kings in the Falcone family, or something. And I thought that was a pretty good moment. And I kind of like seeing Luca like desperately trying to like manipulate her and while he's tied up, where he's like, you're gonna need somebody to help you because you can't do this by yourself. You need to demand respect. You and me, we can go at it together. And obviously that doesn't end well for him. We'll get to that later, I guess. And yeah, and then another interesting part about the episode was when Penguin is like with his girlfriend or whatever, and she's just big mad. She's like, "Hey, what the f? Why did you get me involved with a gang war? I didn't ask to do this," which is true. Like he was like, "Hey, I need an alibi. Not gonna tell you what it's for." And so, that was like way back in the first episode, and yeah, and then she basically like leaves him. It's also unclear like what even is the nature of their relationship. Like, it seems like Penguin is like actually attached to her, but I do wonder if she's actually like attached to him, or if she's just like kind of like with him because they're partners, or because maybe he just has a lot of money or something like that. It's a little weird and a little unclear, but in any case, whatever their relationship is, she kind of breaks it off because he has too much heat on him, which actually looks like it hurts him. So he clearly cares a lot about her. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. And then yeah, speaking of women that Well, I was gonna try to make a comparison between her and his mom, but no, it's the complete polar opposite situation. Penguin is abusive to her, to his girlfriend. His mom is low key abusive to Penguin, like his mom is just like, hey, you're a disappointment because you're not a crime lord. It's like Penguin bought her a house, like a proper house. Like literally, what more can a son do for their parents? That's like the end game of like, I mean, obviously, you can like actually be there and like spend time with your parents, and that's something that you should do. But like as far as like monetary stuff, it's like I feel like if you buy your mother a house, that's like it's like you did it. You succeeded as a son to some extent, at least financially. It's like so crazy how his mom is like, what kind of son doesn't like what kind of son doesn't become a crime lord, and or what was the line? I don't remember what exactly the line was, but she was like, but there definitely was a point where she was like, you said that you were gonna buy me a penthouse, and I'm like, what? Like, how ungrateful can his mom be? And yeah, it's like to some extent, like actually, I remember in the first episode, he was gonna run away when he killed when he killed Falcone's son, and she's the one that convinced him to go on this whole crusade. So it's like she's like sending him deeper into the spiral of criminality, which is like so funny. And yeah, like in her own way, she is like an abusive mother, like Tony Soprano's mom. It's not necessarily as overt, but in terms of the manipulation that she engages in, absolutely. By the way, not to be clear, obviously Penguin is a fucking adult, grown ass man. He's making his own decisions, but as a mother, you have you have an amount of influence, and you have a responsibility for guidance and shit like that. Pretty gnarly scene where when the Maroni mother character tries to do a trade-off with her son, and Penguin just burns them alive. Pretty smart, where how he doused the kid in gasoline, and so as he like hops over to his mom, he's basically like leaving a trail of gasoline, and then when the shootout starts, he just burns them alive, and that's that. Ripperino, I guess, to them. Also, I gotta just keep on saying, I completely pegged this guy wrong. When he first shows up in the show, I was like, oh, this guy definitely abused Sophia Falcone while they were in Arkham. And, I mean, apparently he had some nasty thoughts or whatever, but it seems like he never actually did anything to her. In fact, now as in, like, present day, it seems like she's the one that has, like, all the power in their relationship. Like, he's, like, very like sheepishly walking up to her being like, hey, do you maybe can I maybe be a part of be part of your criminal empire or whatever? And she like very much has all the power in this in this situation, which I think is kind of interesting. So yeah, I don't know, like I just pegged the situation wrong. To be fair, I feel like the show is like purposely did that, where they try to get you to make assumptions about the characters, and then they're like, actually, it's like this, which is kind of more interesting in a way. Also needs to be said, God damn! Sorry, I have no idea who said that. That was really weird, but all I'll say is that the costume designers are pretty good. You know what I mean? Like really, really good makeup, haircut, dress, scars, in my opinion. I don't know if it's fucked up to say, because obviously she got them in weird ways, but well, I think I expressed my my feelings rather succinctly. You know what I mean? To be clear, I do not want to fix Sophia. I want to enable her. Okay, I'm just gonna move on. Yeah, but no, this is a fantastic scene where Sophia essentially takes control of the Falcone family, and I think she does it in a really like smart way, and like fairly believable way. I think where she, because I don't think she was ever just gonna be able to like walk into the situation and be like, all right, everybody mysteriously died. I wonder how this happened, and like assume control of the situation. Um, but she walks in with Luca, which immediately I think probably disarms all of the goons. And then when Luca starts like trying to take control over the situation, shoots him in the head, asserting dominance, right? Commanding respect. And then she like finally like ropes all the henchmen in by being like, "Hey, I'll give you a raise." um which yeah, I think is smart, and I think a believable way as to how Sophia Falcone would get away with like murdering her fucking family, and actually still assuming control of the corporation or whatever. And yeah, and then she fucking makes a pact with Maroni, who Oz failed to unalive. So kind of interesting, right? So we have Oz, who stole the mushrooms, right? And he's going to be making a mushroom farm or whatever. Well, I forget, what did they call that drug? Bliss. That's right. They called it Bliss. So I'm assuming he's going to try to make a Bliss farm, and he's going to have his own empire there. And so now we have Sophia and Maroni, who have like a tentative sort of alliance with each other. So those are going to be, I guess, the two like battlefronts or whatever. I wonder if that Asian group is going to come in at some point. Like, is Oz going to team up with them to take on the Gigantes or whatever the fuck Sophia renamed herself to, and the Maronis? I could see that happening, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, good episode. We'll see if the next, how many episodes are there in the season? I'm actually not sure. Are there 8, maybe? I don't know, but we'll see. Hopefully the rest of the season is great. I have no reason to believe it won't be. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.